So the Building Safety Act, what we're focusing in on today is part 5 of the Act. The guidance makes it quite clear that the Law Society is looking at the provision of guidance for those acting on behalf of sellers and buyers. It is not aimed at landlords, managing agents or anyone else. It touches on part 4 and higher risk buildings. I'll explain how before we finish. It doesn't really deal with other aspects of the Act. And I repeat, as I've repeated frequently, the Act is very, very wide-ranging. It does not just apply to higher risk buildings or relevant buildings, but applies to all manner of different buildings and all manner of different issues, from building regulations to new homes warranties, etc. But for purposes of the Law Society guidance, it is guidance in connection with part 5, acting for sellers and buyers and lenders. As far as Wales is concerned, there is some guidance relating to Wales. I'm not touching on Wales today. I will be at some point in the future doing a webinar on the Building Safety Act as it relates to Wales. But as far as the Law Society guidance is concerned, it dominates in connection with English transactions. So part 5 is what we're going to be looking at in some detail. Does the Law Society help, and how does it help? Well, unfortunately, it doesn't give us a route map to enable you to safely act on sales and purchases. It fills in some of the gaps with regard to what is good practice. It highlights and emphasizes some points which, to be honest and to be brutal, I hadn't considered was important, but which the Law Society considers is important. It supports a lot of the things that I have said in connection with webinars on the Building Safety Act, as have others. It also, interestingly, is very supportive of the stance taken in our book, which I'm a general editor of, on the Building Safety Act, which is to be published in March by the Law Society. So what we've said in the book and what's said in the Law Society guidance is pretty much consistent with one another, although there is a change in emphasis in some sections of the Act and in some sections of the guidance. So what does it add? It adds, I think, clarity in some areas. It doesn't answer some of the burning questions that I've had with regard to the Building Safety Act, and which I'll share with you before we finish today. But on balance, I think we're in a better position as of today than we were last Monday, in that the guidance does provide some clarity and does emphasize some points that I think practitioners may not have emphasized or been aware of or even considered in the past.